All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We got a Rockets video for you guys today. Uploaded a Warriors one like 5 minutes ago. Immediately got a dislike. Immediately got to make a Rockets video. So was going to do it anyways, but if you guys enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Really helps me stay in the algorithm's favor despite trolls, despite the Lakers fans coming in on my videos after we get walloped by them. But anyways, we're going to talk about the Rockets today. I have a feeling this might be a touchy video. However, I think majority of people kind of see this coming. So you might be able to tell from um, the the thumbnail or the name. The Rockets, most likely, if I had to take a guess, I would expect the Rockets to be sellers. And that's just because they have a whole bunch of teams that can help out, or a whole bunch of players, sorry, that can help out other teams. I mean, Victor Oladipo, after his last game, he said some very reassuring comments about how fun it was here, the energy, how our brighter days are ahead of us. But before that, said Houston wasn't a place he wanted to be. So Victor Oladipo, expiring contract. We'll see. I don't really care either way because I think Oladipo is a great player. Even if he's not at all-star form right now, he's still averaging 21, 5 assists. I think he's right at 5 assists, and I mean, he's definitely almost at 2 steals a game, if not at 2 steals a game. So he's playing great. A team could definitely use, particularly the Miami Heat. But if he wants to stay on this team long run, I can't complain one bit because I think this dude can hoop, no doubt. If he's healthy, this guy can ball. PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker's been in Rockets news a lot in the last couple of days. Apparently, who we want back, or what we want back, I should say, for PJ Tucker are 3 second-round picks. So thing about PJ Tucker is that contract isn't the most pretty thing. On the other hand, he has played in 50 playoff games. He's one of the best corner three-point shooters in the league, and he can still play great defense. So a team is definitely, contending team is definitely going to want to pick up PJ Tucker. I've said this before, but I was pretty shocked he wasn't in that trade going to Brooklyn. I'm sure they didn't have enough to swing it, especially with the injury to Dinwiddie, but I was kind of surprised PJ Tucker and James Harden weren't traded in the same package at the very least. But very versatile defender. PJ is great, man. Let's take a look at the bench. John Wall, or before we get to the bench, John Wall. I love John Wall. I really do. Through how many games? What are we, 4-8? So through the first 12 games, he's missed, 5? I love John Wall. I really do. What I'm saying, because his contract is really, really tough, it's almost like the only way Russell Westbrook was going to get traded was if it was for John Wall. Their contracts are just so brutal. So the only way I see John Wall, I don't know. I don't really know if he'll get traded. I don't think he will get traded, but I think it's something to just at least think about. Long term, John Wall doesn't really serve a huge need on our team unless 2 years from now we have a championship contending team, which we might. It's up to Houston Rockets. It's up to their organization and their management to see if this is a trade they would want to pursue. Eric Gordon is very similar to me. However, with John Wall, at least when he's 32, if we're contending and he's healthy, that's a whole nother story. I still would just rather prepare for the long term now that we're kind of in rebuild mode. However, John Wall, he's probably the least important piece to get moved because, first off, it's not really doing any harm. His value is going to be really tough to trade for, and he's only here for 2 years, so it's not a huge deal. It's just something to play around with at least. Eric Gordon, I've been calling for the trade for Eric Gordon since I started making videos in the last week of November. I love Eric Gordon as a hooper. But guys, like long term, I don't understand how he fits into your long term plans. Like, I don't understand how this 31-year-old who's guaranteed, what is it, 64 million over the next 4 years? Like, is that really Eric Gordon? His defense is okay. Like, guys, there's better and younger, more athletic defenders and playmakers out there in the league. And if there aren't any open right now, they will come. They will show themselves. They don't have to be 31 years old. We're rebuilding right now, or we're at least retooling. Victor Oladipo gets traded. And people still want Eric Gordon on his team. I would be so confused. I just do not understand it as well. However, the unfortunate reality, John Wall, Eric Gordon, they're on 2 horrible contracts. Their value isn't very high, especially with John Wall's injuries, Eric Gordon's injury-riddled season last year. I mean, he's having an okay year this year. But just value-wise, I mean, I don't really know even what we would be able to get back for him. Personally, for Eric Gordon, I would take a lot of things. I would take a lot of things for Eric Gordon. I would take a lot of different flavors of chips. I would take a lot of different food combo packages. I would take a lot, and just like one first. I would take 1 first-round pick and barbecue chips for 1 year for Eric Gordon. I'd do it. I really would. He's not in our long-term plans, nor should he. Long-term isn't next year. Long-term's like 3 to 5 years at the minimum. So Eric Gordon doesn't fit into those plans. You're not going to be able to trade a 34-year-old Eric Gordon who's guaranteed $14 million a year. If you can trade Eric Gordon, you should trade him now. That's just my opinion, though. We have a lot of valuable bench players as well. I mean, David Nwaba, I don't see him getting moved. You know, I doubt there's a market really even for David Nwaba, but that's something to play around with if somebody offers for Nwaba, even if it's just like something like a second-round pick, man. I think these are the deals you got to start making. Even Daniel House, even Ben McLemore. Obviously, even Exum, obviously not all those 4 players should be traded, but I really think one of those 4 players should be traded. Like McLemore, Nwaba, House, or Exum, I really just think one of those 4 players needs to be traded. Now, there's rumors everywhere. There's reports everywhere. I read a Bleacher Report article earlier today saying that all 4 of those dudes should be traded. Nwaba, McLemore, Exum, Tucker, like all of them. Every player I've been talking about. Basically, Bleacher Report, ESPN, analysts, all these guys are saying, listen, keep your young core, trade everybody else. And it makes sense. It really does, but you know, I'm not in a huge I can see why you would want to trade Ben McLemore. I can see why you would want to trade David Nwaba, Daniel House. The thing is, right now they're not really hurting anybody. Jesus. So that was a drill, and it's been happening, all week. So that's going to be it for today. We got about 8.5 minutes. It's all good. I'll make a part 2 to this video for you guys either later today or tomorrow. But anyways, thanks for tuning in.